Hello. How we doing, man?
Greetings.
What's up, bro? Hey, everybody. This is Evan Layton with H-Town Happy Hour.
Derek Levy, H-Town Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world, baby.
#1 podcast, bro. Let them know. And our very special guest for you today, we have.
How's it going?
How's it going, man? Well, introduce yourself.
My name is Paul Key. I'm a chef here in Houston, Texas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you say you're a chef, but tell us a little bit about that.
I've been cooking for about 20 years or so. Started off in Houston, ended up in Austin, and ended up back again in Houston.
Yeah.
I've been cooking for a while now. I started with a group called Uchi.
Oh, they're still around, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still around. They're
It's not
a pretty big deal. I guess
the restaurant, huh?
Yeah, Uchi the restaurant.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, it's one of the top restaurants in Houston.
For sure.
Yeah.
I started with those guys back in the early 2000s. Kind of grew with them. Opened Houston, Uchiko, and a few other brands. And with them, while I was doing that, I started a brand called Eastside King and Tycoon. I kind of did everything all at the same time.
Yeah.
So during that time, I also got a James Beard Award, Food and Wine Best New Chef Award, GQ, Esquire, San Pellegrino. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot to unpackage there.
What's the James Beard Award?
Best Chef Southwest.
Best Chef in the Southwest,
Yeah.
huh? How do you get into something like that? Do they call you up? Do you call them or?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first time I got nominated at the James Beard Award, I didn't even really know what it was. Because, culturally, when I worked with Tyson, we didn't really care about any of that stuff. We just cared about what we were doing at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But I had gotten nominated a few times for my work at Uchi before we opened Uchiko. And then when I opened Uchiko, was sort of around the same time, 10 months in, I did Top Chef. And somehow I was able to get the Best Chef Award plus win Top Chef plus the Food and Wine Award all in the same year.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got pedigree.
Yeah.
Dang, you've had a journey. Let's start in the beginning. What kind of brought you towards cooking and becoming a chef?
I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do. So when I first moved to Texas, I went to U of H. I was a bad student.
Nice.
Yeah, I ended up. I don't remember if I dropped out or I got kicked out. It's probably one of the two.
Yeah.
And then while I was there, I was working in restaurants, to help pay the bills. And I was a server, and I was really intrigued about what the guys in the kitchen were doing. I know it's not a ton of pay, but it was satisfying work.
Yeah.
So I decided to sort of make the switch, drop everything I had going for me in Houston, and pack everything in my car and drive to Austin.
Yeah.
And go to culinary school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was this before or after Uchi?
It was before Uchi. This was probably 2000.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you just kind of picked up cooking along the way whenever you were still trying to figure out which direction you wanted to go, and then you just saw that and you're like, hey, this might be interesting, and then you just took off from there.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I don't think I was ever a model student. At one point, maybe I was on the honor roll, but
Yeah.
I just didn't really know what I wanted to do, and nothing really grasped my imagination. Working in a restaurant, and working in a restaurant, it's not for everyone. It's definitely romanticized, but it's not for everyone.
Well, I will tell you this: in all the restaurant jobs I've had, I definitely got fired.
Yeah.
From every single one. Usually for some side of conflict, altercation along the manager, FU, or other people talking trash in the restaurant, and I'm like, I'm clocking out right now. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And it's not cut out for everyone.
Yeah, it's not. Definitely not. But I like that kind of energy, I guess. The restaurant energy and the how dynamic the business is. So now just naturally gravitated towards that. And like I said, I just packed everything in my car and moved to Austin.
Kind of just went out on a limb, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm doing it.
Well, I would have just probably, if I had my way to, I would have just gone to work for somebody versus going to school. But my mom's like, you owe me a degree. I don't care what it is. You gotta get a degree. So I looked up school programs, and it's like, All right, Austin has a 15-month program. I'm gonna take that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Short. What's the shortest one? That's what I'm going.
No, that's exactly how I picked it.
Nice. See?
What's the path of least resistance here?
Yeah.
How do I just get in and get out?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna say. So at what point in your culinary travels did you realize that you had something that you could do well with this?
I don't know. I think it's something to be said when you end up having the right group of people around you to where you feel motivated, to where like you go in and it doesn't feel like a job anymore. And I think at that point where it created that switch. I mean,
So it was having a solid team that you could work with.
Yeah, I mean, it gradually, like, once I started, working with Tyson, I was still in culinary school. I mean, it's not like my hour, like, I was literally going to school from 6 in the morning till 3 p.m. Then I go straight to work at 3:30, and I get off at 1. You know what I mean? So, like...
Damn.
Who's Tyson?
Tyson Cole from Mucci. He was my chef mentor. Yeah.
Nice.
At first, I thought you were talking about like Tyson chicken breast or something.
I knew who Tyson was. That's why I was like, we should.
I was like, you worked with Tyson, right on, man. They're a big company.
He's the owner of Uchi, right? And
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, like, I feel like once you have that kind of group around you, it's fun, you know?
Yep. I feel like that's a very common thing we've talked about with these very successful like business owners and entrepreneurs is not only the team, but when you find something you love doing, it's like not even work.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
Yep.
That's same for me, man. Like even like these running events and marketing and stuff. Like when I'm in the trenches, people are always like, Eric, you're working too much. You're working too hard. I'm like, I love this. This ain't work. Like, what you mean? And it's much similar to the hospitality industry or the restaurant industry. We both have been in the restaurant industry ourselves, and it's very fast paced, very high stress. Like,
it's always high stress.
I thrive in that, bro.
Yeah.
It's like what they say, diamonds are created under pressure.
I think that's your favorite line.
You know what I mean?
Give me more pressure.
Yeah.
Give me more pressure.
More pressure. Look, I grind so hard, I crack my teeth.
Well, hey,
Grind my teeth.
so I kind of want to talk about some of your taking a leap of faith in your industry. I know you were saying that, you went to culinary school. That was awesome, and then you started working with some people. Talk about one of the first leaps of faith that you had.
I mean, I would probably say the biggest leap of faith was just to pack my bags and just go to culinary school.
Go to Austin.
And it's not like when I started working for Uchi, it's not like anybody knew what Uchi was. It was just a place where they gave me a job and I was able to work there for free.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of people know this. Like my first job there was frying Twinkies.
Yeah.
Like nobody
Wow.
even remembers us doing prepackaged, like remembering that restaurant doing prepackaged desserts that we didn't make in house. You know what I mean? Like everything is an evolution, and when it comes to the restaurant game, it's a marathon. It always is. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, now look at Uchi. It's one of the top restaurants in Houston, dude. Does crazy numbers. Meals there are hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Like they're very successful. When you talk about the premier restaurants of Houston, Uchi's always up there.
Yeah.
So you went to Austin, finished culinary school.
Yeah.
And then you came straight back to Houston, or
No. I mean, while I was like I said, I guess I do a lot of things all at the same time.
Yeah.
So like I had zero experience. I was in Austin, and I heard of this thing that a lot of cooks do. It's called staging.
What's that?
It's probably
Staging.
it's probably. I mean, if you think about it, in Europe, a lot of the chefs start at a much younger age because of labor laws, right? There's no labor laws, and it's more of an apprenticeship. So you got kids starting in the kitchen at 12, 13, 14,
Wow.
15.
Is that like how Gordon Ramsay started?
I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of. Did he apprentice? Maybe he did, but a lot of European chefs start off in that kind of direction. So by the time they're like 21, they've been running a kitchen.
Yeah.
For a hot minute.
Yeah, for a hot minute. You know what I mean? So like, but here, of course, like it's like, all right, you're working for free. I mean, that's what it is, right? Staging is working for free. There's a lot of restaurant establishments that definitely take advantage of that.
Yep.
Because it is free labor.
Yeah.
But if you are driven and you know what you're looking for, it's also kind of like going to free culinary school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess
can see that.
that's the way
It's
how
training.
I
You're
thought
learning.
about it.
You're getting experience.
But in today's world, it's probably not kosher anymore.
Yeah.
But
Child labor laws.
I mean, for me, for somebody with zero experience, never worked in the kitchen, wanting to get ahead, that was the best way to get ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Was to just say, hey, I'm gonna work for free, and just let me be a fly on the wall. Let me learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, touche, because we completely understand that because we've done a lot of free work.
Yeah.
You know, building our H-Town happy hour and everything. We worked for free for years just to learn the industries, learn marketing, learn promotion.
And it's so funny because you know, whenever we talk about how long we've been doing H-Town happy hour, some of my people ask about, well, how much you getting paid for it? And I'm like, you guys understand there's a lot of investment in this. There's a lot of putting money into this.
For me, that's part of the hustle, though, right? If you want to own your own company, you want to run your own shit, like, you gotta put the time in, you know, and everything does cost something, but you gotta understand that you can't always, like, I mean, for me, that's always been the difference in mentality of an entrepreneur and somebody that just, you know, wants to work. Like, you want to work for a living, you get a paycheck, sure. Right. You know, you want more, it takes a different kind of sacrifice.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, yeah, no, and it's funny because it's like, you know, even with something like this, we have a platform for where we can do whatever we want, and there's many ways to, you know, collect on that, but there's a lot of investment into it. I don't think many business owners are like, all the money that we get right into the pocket, you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
A lot of it's like, hey, we're gonna put
unless
the money
you're a
back.
TikTok star or something. I don't know.
But even the TikTok stars aren't making that much money. I saw an article on it the other day. They're talking about how you know, and think about this. This is even kind of crazy. Like, they're already saying the influencer market in TikTok is already saturated in that, like, I think Instagram has like 30 or like 27,000 people that have over 1 million followers. Twitter has like 24,000 people, and TikTok already has like 39,000. Oh wow. So it's like they're already, that market share is already being saturated.
For me, I think it makes less interesting food.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what it does is just homogenizes things. If there's a trend on TikTok or Instagram, then everybody tries to do it. I'm like, why do I want to do that, man? I want to be inspired.
And also,
I don't want to see the same shit.
And also, there's people that are getting on TikTok and doing, like, these cooking videos.
And sometimes these guys don't know how to cook, and the food's not good.
It's so simple, but they're just like, cayenne, salt, paprika, chicken, cut them open, stuff the breast, bam, and they have this thing, and it's like...
You know, I think that's also why it's so successful on like TikTok and Reels and social media, though, because it's so simple that, like, people can just do it at home.
I think it's great when it's that, the DIY stuff.
Not,
you know,
it's not that upper echelon level, like, kind of chef like expertise.
Well, I just don't like it when markets get homogenized. You know what I mean? Like, if like birria is a craze and everybody has a birria dish. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to go to a nice restaurant and be like, I got this inspired by this, though. You know, but like. You know, like
we got birria tacos. It's like everybody came out with that as soon as it was hot.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, it's everywhere. Birria is everywhere now. It was like popped out of nowhere. Like 3-4 years ago, it's just like birria was kind of on the below the radar. Yeah. Now everywhere has to have birria.
Sure.
It was so funny because, you know, I'm a realtor also, right? Yeah. And I have been for a few years now. Whenever COVID hit and like the market started opening back up, I can't tell you how many COVID cleaning companies just popped up.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just like, people were throwing those in deals. They're like, hey, we'll give you a free COVID cleaning if we're not going to get it unless there's a COVID cleaner there. And there's no COVID cleaning. It's
like, what is the COVID cleaning?
It was a fucking racket, is all it was. No, it was just making money off steaming.
You got a free mask? You get a free mask with the COVID cleaning?
N95 mask.
N95 mask, That's good.
With the foldable foil over the nose, man.
No, that's funny. All right, so when did you come back? How long were you out in Austin? When did you come back to Uchi? Or come back to Houston to go to Uchi?
I was in Austin for a long time, man. I was there for almost 13 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, no. Let me see. I was there from 2002. I was still in Austin. I didn't move back to Houston until 2018.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
What? So you know, I know you touched on Tyson and kind of how he was a mentor. Like, how did that come about? Like, did you just start like gravitating towards him, and he was just kind of?
I mean, I had a buddy that worked for him at the time, and like I said, there was like no real there's no real, like, I guess, romance in the story. It was like, literally, I got a buddy that worked there.
Yeah.
They're looking for people. I had zero experience. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go work for free, but I'm still in culinary school. So I worked for free until there was a spot opening up, and I took the spot.
Wow.
And, I mean, it was to fry Twinkies. It's not like
How
it was I was
long
trying to
were you
make
working
sushi.
for free?
I'll probably say like 3 or 4 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And well, it would be. It's funny because people talk about that as a great way to earn a position in a spot. Is be like, hey, I'll work for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then once they see what you're worth and how your work ethic is, they'll start.
I was literally watching a documentary.
But to tell people though, like if you are gonna do that, make sure you're getting something out of it.
Yeah,
Don't let
absolutely.
don't get used.
Of.
Yeah,
It's
don't
not
get
like
taken
just
advantage of.
janitorial services on the house.
And restaurants will do that. If the chef's an asshole, he's gonna do something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
they'll squeeze all the juice out of that lemon.
Yep.
All of it.
I was watching a documentary last night, and it was on P Diddy and like Puff Daddy and how he created his empire and everything. You know, one of the number one record labels in the whole world, and it's kind of what he did. You know, he's a teenager and just started calling up these record companies and say, hey, I'll work for free. I just want to work here. And then he told Uptown Records, he was like, hey man, I want to work here. I don't want to be at Def Jam. He was like, I checked out both of y'all and you're the better choice.
Yeah.
And then the owner of Uptown Records was like, wait, are you interviewing me or am I interviewing you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's a teenager. He was like 15, 16.
I
at
can
the
just
time.
see P. Diddy in there just going, look, bud, you're the better one here. You're the better choice, the better candidate. So
We're gonna
is
go
you
with
working
you.
with me or am I employed?
Yeah.
You know?
By 19, sure enough, he was a millionaire.
Yeah.
By 19, and because he got started when he's like 15, when
wow.
started interviewing record labels, saying, and it's crazy, dude. Like it's that entrepreneurial spirit, man.
Right. So tell us, what kind of projects do you have working on right now?
Yeah.
I mean, right now, besides being at the Post, so that's sort of my home base in Houston.
What all do you do with the Post?
So I help operate the food hall,
Awesome.
and I also have 6 of my own brands in the food hall.
Yeah.
Oh, 6. That's
Yeah.
it.
6.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Only 6.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
all.
only
6 of them,
6.
huh?
6 different concepts,
Six-
right? Name them. What are they?
So we got Johnny Goodburger, Leah Jane's,
Yeah.
Tycoon, Soy Pinoy, Eastside King, and Gulfstramen.
Yeah.
Yep.
What? So you Tycoon kind of. Let's run through those. Tell us a
Johnny
little bit of Tycoon.
Goodburger, Pinoy.
Soy Pinoy,
Soy Pinoy.
Tycoon, Leah Jane's, Eastside King, Gulfstramen.
Yeah.
And then we also operate the bars, so it's also Andress Unknown and Return to Sender.
Return to Sender.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I was just joking when I was like, oh, only 6. That's
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
huh? That's quite a bit, man. That's quite a handful. It's more than a handful.
That's 6 different. For people that don't understand, you know, a lot of y'all, I'm sure, know what Post is, but Post has a market hall in it as well, and it's got like just a culinary.
We have about 32 brands in there right
Yeah.
now. We do everything from Filipino food to Peruvian.
Yep.
And
West
everything in
African
between, West
cuisine.
African. So it's a world. It's a world. I mean, for me,
It's a
world
world
class.
class. It is
food hall,
world class
yeah.
food hall, dude.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And the
I
thing
mean,
about it is,
there's articles on the news about it.
All the
It's
time.
in stuff to do in Houston. It's on every other female's picture online.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
it sure is.
Everyone is taking the same shot with their foot up, their hair back, right in front of the skyline, and then they go down and they take pictures of their food from
Yep.
different areas. Yeah. And you just can't get around from it. You can't get away from it.
No,
it's,
you
just- it's such a cinder block and foundation. Here
you know,
in
and
Houston.
it not only is it a cool looking building, but I think, you know, and this gives props to you and the rest of the team over there at Post, because we really have a high class, like, kind of team of chefs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, we've got multiple critically acclaimed chefs. Not only yourself.
Yeah.
When you open this up, James Beard Award-winning chef, top chef, season 9, season 10?
Top Chef Texas.
Top Chef Texas
Yeah.
won, and then
the Food and Wine Award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best new chef.
Yeah. So, and then there's other ones, you know, Tom Cunanan.
Yeah,
he's
Cunanan.
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 Okay. Tom Cunanan. He's a James Beard Award-winning chef. He's what over there at Soy Pinoy.
Yep.
And
Christopher
then
is a Michelin.
Christopher Huttuff just got Michelin starred chef.
Yep.
Yep. And so,
hey, do you work at Post also?
I sure do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, all right, Derek. What sort of team do you have around you, Derek? And strong announcement, Derek. Go ahead.
Let's switch the energy. Let's switch it.
And then you
I am
got
the
Rodney
director of
McDaniel.
marketing there. So,
Yeah, because that was one of the questions: is what sort of team do you have around you?
Well, I
And
mean,
Derek's
I think
this is his guy. That's his guy.
The idea for the Post was to sort of take the best of Houston and enhance it by extending our community when it comes to cuisine, right?
Yeah.
So we just try to find I feel like some of the best of the best in class, the best in show of you name the cuisine, and we have it at Post.
Yep. Even Opie with chopping block.
Exactly.
Man, that food's amazing. It's like West African cuisine, kind of Nigerian.
Oh
food.
yeah. No, I had that. I had
It's
that. It was
so
solid.
good.
It was solid.
And I think you hit the nail on the head too. Like, this goes back to how we started this even conversation, is like, build a team, surround yourself with people that, make work fun and also are all accomplishing goals and kind of have the same vision.
Yep.
So I think, Post and yourself, because mind y'all, he's not just at Post. What?
Yeah. So I got a food hall in Denver as well.
Yep.
And I have a lot of the same brands that I have down here, like Soy Pinoy, Eastside King, Leah Jane's. I have that in Colorado.
Yeah.
So we have a Colorado team, and then I'm also in Miami.
Yep.
So I've been working with a hotel called the Faina Hotel. Hoteliers from Argentina.
Yeah.
Then I have a restaurant called Pau there, and a restaurant called El Secreto, which is a six-seat omakase counter. in
Yeah.
South Beach.
Is it what?
It's a 6-seat sushi omakase counter.
Okay.
Omakase is where, like, you sit down and they serve.
It literally means trust us. So like, El Secreto is pretty pricey, but it's also South Beach. I mean, like, our tasting menus there start at like $300, but it's literally, we'll give you the best sushi.
It's like
Anywhere,
chef
anywhere,
choice of
anywhere.
the sushis, and they come out like one at a time, and they're all just like.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
incredible.
Okay. Cool.
You sit down. It's very personal.
Yeah.
You usually do it with the chef.
I think I've done that before.
Yeah.
I think I've done that once
Yeah.
before. It's for like your birthday or something.
Where do you know where that was?
Was that at Uchi?
It was at Uchi.
All right, so I should be familiar with it, but I'm just
Yeah.
getting exposed to all this stuff. I got no idea about it, man.
All right. So my next question is, how do you run the 688 restaurants you just named all at one time?
It's only 3. No, it's not. It's 3 markets.
Yeah, 3
Oh,
markets.
excuse us.
But no, I mean, I think one of my strongest suits is working with people.
Yeah.
So I actually have, I have an Austin team, I have a Colorado team, and my team in Miami, and all these people I've worked with for a long time.
Yeah.
You
People
know,
you've known, you've
like,
met throughout
yeah.
your journeys.
Exactly. So one thing that I've always loved about the cooking industry, it's like the way I've always seen it is that if I cooked with you once, or we worked together one time, we're always gonna work together. So like I went through even from my starting days, I keep in touch with a lot of chefs, a lot of friends of the house, a lot of hospitality people, and we stay friends. And I think for me, that's the beautiful thing about the hospitality industry. It does bring people together.
For sure.
Yeah.
You form close bonds. When
Very
you're working
close
with people in the
bonds.
trenches
Yeah.
and stuff, especially in those kind of environments,
Yep.
it's you see people's make or break points and
Yep.
stuff.
So let me ask you this: what sort of struggles and obstacles have you had involved with working at the Post and involved with these other groups that you talk about?
Man, it's been a lot. Like hospitality in general, probably has gotten a pretty bad rap the last few years. I know everybody's seen probably The Bear at this point.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched The Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, on FX. It's about restaurants.
Okay.
So it's funny because I literally put it on after I got off of work because I like to watch something stupid just to degress, but that was the wrong show to pick. Because then I put it on, I'm like, holy shit, I'm back at work. This shit, I was like, this is stressful.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, like I feel like there's always been struggle with substances when it comes to restaurants. Just handling different people's lives.
Yeah.
Mental illness.
Yeah.
Like all those are pretty real topics in restaurants.
Yeah.
And the thing is with restaurants, it's not like. I feel like at least in a lot of the kitchens that I've run, it essentially it brings together a pretty interesting group of people.
Yeah.
Usually with different pasts.
Sure does.
And part of the challenge, and for me, part of the joy is also trying to figure out how to motivate and bring everybody together. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, even
Yeah.
like with the teams that, like, the people that you have beneath you, like, working for you and everything, like, keeping them motivated, keeping them up with the concepts, making sure they're sharp and doing their job,
as well as helping them grow.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And like when you were asking about struggles, so back in like 2020, everything I listed out, I basically won or got between, I would say, 2012 to 2015, right? And then in the height of my career, I was having horrible issues at home, you know, with my then fiance. I ended up having a bad breakup, went down a bad spiral. I ended up getting arrested at my place after calling the police.
Oh, no.
And then you know, I checked myself into rehab after that. But I mean, and I don't think my story is special in my industry.
Yeah, no,
it's
not at all.
It's actually, and I'm not saying what I, you know,
Not
it's like
it's
super
still-
common.
Well, it is. That's why we have you on the show.
Well,
right?
no,
Yeah.
I'm saying the kind of not that you're not graceful, but the kind of fall from grace, like you're at the height of your career, and then you know you kind of get caught in it.
No, 100%. You get caught. You can get caught in it. It comes down to like the people I ended up surrounding myself around. You know. I think the thing is when you like when I go on a bender, you know what I mean? It's like I just have more shame. So my close friends all of a sudden are my closer friends. You know, I start to gravitate towards my party friends. Yeah. Because like, hey, these guys are with me during that time, right? But these guys actually held me up. You know, while I was down. So I mean, like, you know, after that whole incident, it was just like, man, I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I mean, I still have people that believed in me. And I hit a certain point where I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna like whatever. I'm gonna sign over my ownership. You guys can take this restaurant. You guys take this restaurant. I don't
So
really
you were
care.
questioning whether or not you should still be in the
Yeah, I
industry.
mean, and at that point too, it's like I really hated everything that I was probably making in a restaurant. You know, because when the thing is about falling in love with trying to be a chef, it's like you're falling in love with the craft. You know, you're working with your hands, you're working with your people, you're cooking, and then you take the guy that loves that, and then you push him into a more business-oriented role because you're growing as a company. All of a sudden, I'm on TV. You're a brand. This and that. You know, for me, it took it took everything that I was passionate about and just kind of made it not what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
Now you're not even in the kitchen cooking as much.
No,
now,
I'm
like
having
you said,
to,
you're having to you have to do interviews.
You having to explain yourself to two guys on the camera.
I think there's a lot of stuff people can
and
relate
celebrity
to
chefs to me, don't get me wrong, like kudos to you, you know, like you can do that, you can do the show, you can like turn it on, great, you know, but that was never the path I wanted. But that was the path I was getting pushed towards during that time. And like honestly, when the pandemic was like 2018, I basically closed a couple restaurants because of that drama, and then I sort of decided to go back to scratch and go back to some of my older restaurants in Austin, and actually just, you know, like, and this was right before the pandemic hit, and like literally just working a food stall, working a food truck. Like I'm like I had to do something that made me feel sane again, or make me feel more like myself, whether it's washing dishes, scrubbing floors, or like chopping onions, and I was fine with it.
So that kind of leads into my next question. What were some of the ways you were able to overcome?
I mean, the biggest part of it was because I had friends and family that supported me during this time, and people that I work with that supported me even though I didn't think they supported me. And I had to immerse myself back in the kitchen. You know, I had to start cooking again. So I had to like just kind of shut the noise out and then just start from like dicing an onion.
Do what you love.
You know what I mean?
Get
and then
back
just
to
kind of
the
go from
roots.
there.
I think you know, obviously, you know, when we as Post, when we were looking for someone to kind of, you know, partner up with and launch this endeavor, you know, obviously I'd be lying if some people didn't say, well, oh, you know, have you heard about it? What happened with him? Yada yada. And I think that's it's like the true underdog story, right? Like it's like you the fall from grace, and then it's like we literally talked about this last week. Like every setback is just a setup for a major comeback.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, look at you now, and it almost like you were straying off path, and that check corrected you. Now you're back to cooking. Now you've built your team to where you get to you're in the role you love.
Yeah.
You're not the
Well, the biggest thing too is like it took me that to realize that, hey, I actually do love what I do, and I love the people that are around me that have been supporting me for all this time. Yeah.
I think it's very important too. Like, so I don't know if you stated, he has a hospitality group, and it's a team of people. You know, he's got a well-oiled machine, and you know he's got Johnny, who's like he's very business numbers, business oriented, and then you know, you were able to regroup and rebuild more to how you envisioned it and what you love.
Yeah. I mean, the other part of it too, it's just like I think all like during that my increase in popularity during that initial period, right? It was just like the more I got famous, the more things got taken away from me. So they're like, all right, you got a manager now, you got an agent, we're gonna do this, we're gonna handle that.
This isn't why I started cooking.
No, exactly. And then I got like a director of operations that handles. I still have a director of operations now that handles all our stuff. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I felt like a kid, right? Like everybody has to take care of all these things around me. But that's not how I operate. So.
I think a lot of celebrities actually talk about that same thing. Yeah. They're like, it just took away everything about me that made me unique.
Sure.
My personality, I was on other people's times, other people's schedules. Like they didn't even they can't even say their name in a commercial without like asking their contract. The person who writes their contract.
That's smart though. Be like, hey, you got to pay me. I'm just kidding.
So, and also even like with, I think, you know, back to what you were kind of talking about, that off to the side a little bit. I feel that sometimes whenever we go down that, you know, a dark path that kind of takes us outside of our element that we know is true to us, that has to happen, because what I feel like is does it stick with you now and help motivate you now?
Oh, 100%.
That you were in that dark space for a little bit, and now
yeah, dude. I mean, you have to turn that kind of energy, whether it's, you know, no matter how negative it is, you gotta take that. You gotta take that energy and channel it the right way.
Yes.
You know, like that's the only way to come back. And what I do love about cooking is, like I said, I can just, you know, basically wet my cutting board, start at a point that I understand, you know what I mean? And just start cooking again.
Yep.
But that being said as well, it's just like, you know, like when I was an up and coming chef as well, or up and coming celebrity chef, it was just like, all right, I just want to focus on cooking. I don't want to handle anything else. But now, like what I realize, if I really want the machine to work the way I want it to for my company, I have to be all in.
Yeah.
You know, I can't just focus on the cooking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you still be cooking it up.
No, I mean, but that's for my soul. So like, I like that. That's good for my soul.
Now it's just meditation and spirituality for it, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because I mean, you'll see guys like Christopher. I mean, what, it takes him 12 hours to get here from Norway. Then he comes straight here and you see him scrubbing the floors.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
You know?
That's all in right there. That's dedication.
Yeah.
So Christopher Huttoff is his partner at Gulf Stroman.
And that guy has 5 restaurants in Norway. He just flew halfway across the world to be in Houston so that he can scrub the floors, because this is what we do.
That's dedication.
It's respect, bro.
Yeah.
That's major dedication.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what's your favorite thing to cook, bro?
And I like braising things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like cooking chicken a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Chicken's so good. It gets so much, like, people think it's like the bottom of the barrel. No, I love chicken.
No, I love chicken too, man.
Especially when it's done the right way. Yeah. Like, I mean, I remember I've had a chicken burrito before one time where I was like, this is tasteless. This is bland. And I'm like, did y'all even season this at all?
Yeah.
But when done the right way, I mean, it's top notch.
No, for sure. I feel like too many chefs are too bougie about what kind of ingredient. I'm like, I've never heard of that ingredient. I guess that's the ingredient for this season, right? Like, I'm like, just make it taste good.
Yeah.
It's got to be delicious. Doesn't matter what. And I'm a big fan of food. When I say I'm a big fan of food, it's not just like highbrow food. Like, I love condiments. I love looking at the backs of condiments and figuring out what's in there.
Yeah.
You know, and like condiments to fast food, I'll eat fast food. You know, I'm not like there's certain things that appeal to me from different operations. You know, whether it's how fluid the drive-through is at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it's the breakfast chicken burritos. For me,
Or let's be real, the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah,
Holy
dude,
fuck, that is crack.
insane. But I think the real question, here that we need to know, we talk about your favorite food to cook. What dish did you cook for us today? I think that's the real question I had.
That's for episode 2.
That's for part 2. That's for part 2.
Deal.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I just had to. Man. Yeah, no. So you like to braise stuff. What about what's some of the more popular dishes at, let's say, at Post for you? Like, I know you say you have 6 of them, but like, what's some of like the more popular dishes that people come in and grab?
I mean, our hot chicken's pretty solid. So we have a solid hot chicken sandwich.
Hat off to you, by the way. He doesn't have just like a specialty. This guy, he does it all. The hot chicken,
I love food.
Burgers, seafood.
I love eating
Filipino food.
Yeah, more than I love cooking food.
Yeah, it's so good.
So I'm all over the place when it comes to cuisine.
Yeah. I think another thing we like to ask people too is, what's some tips or pointers you would give someone looking to go down this like kind of chef or restaurateur path?
I would say, I mean, it's like your P Diddy example, right? Just find a restaurant that you like.
Yeah.
Ask them if you go work for free for a day.
Yeah.
And see if you like it.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh, let me sign up for culinary school and give this school $100,000 so you can teach me how to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, when I was serving tables, I always had a close bond with the chefs because it's an art.
Yeah.
And like them in the trenches, it's hot back there. Everyone's yelling at them. The managers, the servers. Where's my chicken? Where's my lemon roasted
this
chicken?
This pasta is raw. What do you mean it's not cooked yet?
I think I've got a lot of respect for chefs, and even more so like restaurateurs such as yourself, bro. Like I tip my hat to you. I've always had a lot of respect for you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about okay? So here's one. What sort of plans do you have for the future?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, probably to open more restaurants.
Okay.
I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
Anyone's in the oven right now? Kind of punny, but you know, anyone's in the oven right now that you're planning on?
We got a few projects in the works.
Are you not allowed to talk about them?
Not completely yet. You know, there's some in Houston,
Okay.
some in Austin, maybe Chicago. I don't know.
So you've got you help manage a food hall in Austin?
No. In just a Post here in Texas.
Okay.
And then we have one that we're managing in Denver. But we also next month I'm actually opening Kokanee in Denver, which is we're reopening omakase, basically like a tasting menu format restaurant.
Yeah.
About 20 seats.
Nice.
Yeah, we were in Zeppelin Station and we moved out to do a brick and mortar, and we'll be opening with that next month.
Cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool. Yeah.
Nice. Dang, dude, you've got not only do you have a good catalog of restaurants, but also like you've reached the pinnacle of kind of the chef world. And
I don't know what the pinnacle is. Let me put it that way. But
Nice.
I always get really excited working with people and working with talented chefs.
Yeah.
That makes me want to work with them. And you know, in a lot of cases, I'm partners with a lot of these different chefs.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and for me, it's about those relationships. That's why I love this industry.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the obstacles you face in these relationships and partnerships? Or
I mean, there's always a difference in opinion, but it's because I'm always a chef, and usually I'll take my chef hat off, and you know, I just become like the operator or like the general manager or the partner. You know what I mean? But part of the reason, I mean, I like these sort of setups is because I get to learn somebody else's food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you take a lot?
I don't know if it's an issue, but it's actually a perk for me. It's learning, right? And I've cooked long enough to know that when you cook, you got to cook with no ego, you know, especially if you want to learn something.
I think that applies to a lot more than just cooking, bro.
Sure.
When you always got to be willing to learn.
Yep.
You always gotta kind of swallow your ego.
Yep.
It's especially once you've had a lot of success, it's very easy to become egotistical.
Oh, 100%. and actually, I don't like eating my food. Like, I'd rather eat somebody else's. I'd rather eat somebody else's cooking.
Yeah, you like feeding people though.
Yeah, I do like feeding people.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of joy in that. You know what I'm saying? Like cooking for other people and watching them eat it, enjoy it, watching them converse amongst each other's in the good times that they create. I feel like that's. You know, that's one of the good parts about cooking is being able to watch others.
Food is literally one of the human basics necessities. Like it's literally.
I mean, it's the
food,
easiest way
water,
to chat with somebody. If like I'm on a long Uber ride, I always ask them about food because it just sparks up a conversation. You could talk to a stranger about food, and it leads into like, all right, where you from, what you grew up around. It automatically translates to culture. You know, and
it transcends your own interview. It translates into your own interview at that point. You know,
I mean, it transcends all cultures. Like everyone,
it's the easiest way to get to know somebody. It's through food.
You know, I had a conversation with someone the other day, and you know, they're in they have a dance studio and stuff, and he kind of said a similar thing about his wife has a dance studio, and he kind of said the same thing about her. He was like, if you think about it, you know, every culture dances. Yeah. Every culture dances, and it's like, it's what people do when they gather and stuff. They dance. Yeah. They eat. Yeah, they drink and hang out.
Like you have to eat, though. You have to eat.
But it's also like I tell you, one of my favorite things to do is like kind of family style eating. Like I know even in America, like it's not as common, but in a lot of other cultures, like it's very prevalent, right? Yeah. Like you sit down and you order for the whole table and everyone eats a little of everything, and it's like that family style. Yeah. It's like it's like a very good bonding thing, and like it just creates like a sense of family. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and also, I mean, I think there's a phrase out there that's like, you talk to the people you eat with, and and the people that you eat with, you talk with. Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, it's almost like it welcomes that. Yeah. It's supposed to welcome that. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But it's funny because on the other side, it's also like, you know, sometimes I like going to a restaurant by myself too. You know, sometimes I feel like as much as it is like a social thing also, sometimes it's good to like recharge.
I like sitting at bars and eating.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that too though? Like Socrates actually wrote like in
Socrates.
Philosophy over here.
From P. Diddy to Socrates. I like
it. He wrote like a whole lot about how eating by yourself is actually one of the like loneliest things a human can do.
Really?
It's if a lot of humans are hesitant to eat by themselves. Like especially now it's kind of transformed in modern times. It's like a lot of humans are hesitant to go out to eat by themselves.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yes, a lot. Huh. A lot don't like to go out to eat by themselves or like go to movies by themselves. It's just
I like going to movies by myself.
Me too. I think I do as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm not really big on the movies. I can't sit still long enough. I haven't owned a TV in about 7-8 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, I just threw it away, and I haven't looked back. Because I was sitting there just like I can't sit still long enough to do this. Like I remember going to see Aladdin with some buddies. And for like
that was the last movie you saw was Aladdin?
No. Let me tell you a story. One time it was his birthday and we were hanging out with a bunch of friends. We were at the bar. We were drinking, like day drinking, having a good time. Yeah. And out of nowhere, Evan's like, yo, let's go see a movie. Let's go watch a movie. And
very uncharacteristic.
I'm like, bro, you want to go watch a movie? It was we were next door, drinking next door to the movies. Yeah. So he's like, let's go watch a movie, guys. And I was like, bro, you want to go watch a movie? He's all fired up about it. I think we went to see Hercules. Yes. 5 minutes into the movie.
Out.
He was asleep.
Out cold. Straight up, man. And then they sat there. My friend sat there with me in my drunkenness, but I think midway through we got up and left.
Yeah. I think that's why you wanted to go watch a movie, because you really just want to take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap. Yeah.
You got say, fellas, glad y'all are here, man.
Yeah. I applaud you too, bro, because taking out the TV and stuff, it makes you more of a productive person.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. I mean, the only weird part is if I have friends over, it's kind of like you're forced to talk to me. Yeah. You don't get to watch a TV, man. Yeah. That's the one thing that's a little bit weird about it, but then again, it's also, I just don't have one. Yeah. And we can talk about a book. We can talk about food.
Hey, but shit. Their birthday, his birthday. Happy birthday! His birthday.
Happy birthday! Hey, his birthday is on Tuesday.
It is on Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday, August 2nd. Leo, yep.
Wait, so, yeah, lion.
We got a couple lions in here right now. You know what I'm saying?
Leo too. His birthday
July
just passed.
25th.
But hey,
nice.
He invited some friends over, like, 10 of us or so. We're all going to his house for his birthday. And I was like, well, fuck, what are we going to do? We're just going to sit there and drink. He doesn't have a TV. He doesn't have video games. I was like, what are we going to do? Just sit in his room? You know, the very first thing I thought of?
What?
Let's cook.
Dude, Derek came through with pounds of meat, pounds of vegetables, skewers, charcoal, lighting fluid, sushi, drinks. Oh man, he gave me the best present of all time. He gave me it was this little pink happy birthday bag wrapped up with pink and white polka dot gift wrapping paper, and oh man, it was classic. And inside was a single pint of Jack Daniels. Just a small little, just a couple shooters, man.
Yeah.
He laughs his ass off and he's like, dude, fuck you. Let's go outside. Big ass bottle of Gentleman Jack. All the food you can think of.
Yeah.
Chips, drinks. I just brought the party over here. Just brought the party.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I love you, bro.
But
appreciate it.
I think it wraps back to it is like, I was literally thinking, like, what can we do? And we talked about it after, like, the next day and stuff, and, like, it was so much fun. It gave us something to do. Like, we're all just cooking, and we're chopping up, and, like, we're shooting the shit, and we're drinking beers and standing around the grill. Like, it was a very, like, not, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean in a weird way, but it was very intimate. Like, it was fun. It was just like genuine fun.
We just had a couple friends over with their females, and it was just a couple people from the apartment came through and just stopped by, hung out. We were jamming out music, and it was awesome. Good. It was awesome.
It builds camaraderie, man.
100%.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It's the same, like you say, you form these bonds with the people you're in the trenches with when you're cooking and everything.
And I think the best sound during eating, though, it's funny because as much as it is a social environment. Also, whenever everything is quiet and you're just
no, it's good. If it's quiet, that's when you know it's good, right?
Food is good. Yep.
When everybody just shuts up and everybody's just like, it's because the food's good. Yeah.
It's perfect, man. It's perfect. So, okay, what about this? What about some golden nuggets to the people?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if someone was to be like, hey, what's just a piece of advice that you would give to us? What you got?
Oh man,
Or what would you tell your younger self?
That's a good one too.
What would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time and give your younger self some knowledge or golden nuggets? What would you tell
Pull out my
him?
notebook. Here we go.
No, I guess the reason why I'm laughing it's because there's a chef that I admire, and I've always liked his, like how he looked at
His
working in the kitchen
mentality.
and food, right?
Yeah.
But I don't even know, like, it's such a weird climate with stuff. Like, I don't even know if it's appropriate anymore. But he basically tells you to shut up and work.
Nice.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
And now employees are offended when you say that.
exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I could tell myself that. Just shut up and work. But it's a different climate now when it comes to managing the younger chefs and cooks.
Yeah. Well,
but the reason why that is that it just doesn't have any extra words. It's like literally just get, it's like
shut up and work.
Yeah, well, because a lot of times when you work in a kitchen, they start you off on a pantry basically they'll set you up in a pantry station or a fry station, right? Like the bottom of the barrel. Mm-hmm. But then you're always worried about the next station that you get to learn. Am I going to learn saute? I'm going to learn grill next. But I'm like, bro, just master what you're doing right now. Yep. Just handle this, show me you can kick ass, and then we'll move you to the next job. And when I was on Top Chef, that's how I approached it. I'm like, I don't even know why you guys are plotting here, because we're season 9 and there's been 8 seasons before us, so we're going to get fucked today. And we're going to have to cook. There's 2 things that are going to happen today. So I don't know why you guys are back there, like, talking about strategy and shit. Because there's only 2 things that's going to happen today.
And look,
and it's going to happen every single day while we're here.
And we'll talk to y'all about strategy when we're ready.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
I know y'all are talking about what y'all are planning on doing.
Yeah.
Shut that shit down.
Dude, I was so quiet on that show. I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, you guys do your thing. You guys plot against that person. But I'm like, but why? It's a fucking cooking show.
Okay, so do other chefs ever try to sabotage other chefs?
No, they don't. But they definitely play mind games. Like they like to put their feathers out and be like, oh, I cooked at this place, or I know how to cook this, and I'm just like, okay, cool, good
Kinda
for
like
you.
Peacocking.
Yeah. I'm just like, great, cool. I don't need to say nothing, and like, because for me, I looked at it as a cooking competition. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
So as soon as we get cooking, you know,
and then as soon as you my bad.
Yeah.
As soon as you start talking to them about what you're doing and what you've done, they're gonna probably try to use it against you too.
Sure.
Well,
and I mean, like, I don't care either, because I'm just like, at the end of it, like I said, I don't like to play games. Like, let's go plate to plate.
Right.
You know.
That's exactly. I was basically about to say both. Like, y'all, they could talk all they want, but what it comes down to is,
and there's a lot of people that talk in this industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting too. We talked a lot about how you had mentors and people that helped you along the way, but something I like that you've kind of dabbled on a little in this conversation is about how you're training your chefs and about how, like, that's such a key role, I feel like, in building any business.
I mean, for me, I think my biggest successes aren't my personal accolades, but the accolades of the people that that have worked with me, or I've gotten the honor to work with.
Right,
you know
you're
what I mean?
Master Jedi, you're Padawan. Seeing your Padawans become Jedis.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty
cool.
cool.
I like to tell all the guys now, and I'm just messing around, but like, all right, I'll be Rocky and you're Apollo, man. This is your stage.
Do something with it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I think that's very fulfilling too. You know, once you've reached a lot of your goals and stuff, it's like, what else is there to do besides like help someone reach theirs?
Sure. I mean, but that's the trick, right? Like, winning all these awards was never my goal.
Right.
I don't really like. That doesn't matter to me as much. You know, it's helped my career quite a bit, but you know, like, but I've always just focused on making the guy next to me better, and that's how everybody should work in a restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even. I mean, I live that every day. Like when we do our marketing and stuff. Like I'm constantly trying to not necessarily teach, but just show. Like sometimes when I'm editing, chopping up videos, I'm always like, Evan, come do it with me. Yeah. Come do it with me. Watch, dude, cut it like this. This is how I cut this. Like, am I not?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. The only thing. No. I think sometimes, because you remember how you say, you're like, I like to, you know, you give away the knowledge, and sure enough, it works out well for you. I think the reason why some people don't ever follow through with it is because you have a lot of information to give, and it's just like, here's a fire hose of knowledge, and they're like, well, I only absorbed so much, and you're like, well, I already told you what I told you. You need to fucking remember, and here goes another fire hose. You know?
Well,
but at the same time, I mean, look where the motherfucker's at doing the work. So I mean, it's kind of like, hey, shut up and watch this work. All right, it's pretty much what it is.
I mean, but even with that, like, I've grown a lot. You know what I'm saying? That was way. I mean, back in the day, you know, even now, like I'm a mentor to people now. Like even Oriana, she's one of my marketing coordinators, like for posts and everything. And like I all the time, like I'll pull her over and like, hey, let's make a video together. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And now she's making videos on her own. And even though she knows how to make videos still, it's like, I love to make them with her, because it's like, first off, it's like the art of storytelling, right? Sure. How can you tell a story? Which also, props to y'all and y'all's socials, dude. Y'all been doing y'all been doing good a lot recently. I've been noticing too, man. It's fire. But anyways, it's like it's so cool to see like the knowledge, like I've been trying to teach her and see her apply, because she also has her own business. She does like handcrafted and like different design, like bikinis and stuff. It's a Lechese design. Shout out to Oriana with that. But it's cool, because it's cool to see her applying the stuff we're talking about and like working on to her brand. Like out of nowhere, I see like things that we were doing together for posts, and I see her applying it to her brand, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah,
hey, and that wasn't meaning to slight you. I was just talking about, I was talking about my experiences. It's like I can only retain so much at a time, and after that, it's like,
for sure.
I'm doing my best. I promise, I'm doing my best.
I didn't take it at all. Like I mean, it's even like when with the gym, bro. Like
I was gonna say that too.
When you first started working out, I used to yell at you.
Screaming.
You gotta lift the weight like this.
I'm like, hey, can you shut the hell up, please? While I try to do this, and can you talk to me in a normal tone? Yeah, sure. Listen. All right, Derek.
Well, I mean,
but now I'm throwing up major weight too, so it's all right. And,
and I mean, now you even teach me things. Like the other day, we're doing skull crushers.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, hey, bro, I think you need to bring it back behind your head a little. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, cured all my elbow pain. So I think teaching's not easy, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
teaching is not easy,
it's not.
and learning, because you also have to understand different people's learning styles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's fun though. It's also a good way to learn is to teach.
Right.
Like you learn by, like I learn a lot by teaching. Like sometimes I'll be showing Oriana something and she'll like rebuttal with a different perspective about something, and I'm like, damn, actually you're probably right.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, you even talked about it in the chef world. Like you love like these partnerships and stuff because you like eating their food and you pick up on things that they do, and you're constantly learning.
I mean, I get bored with my ideas, you know. Like I want to learn somebody else's ideas, and like nobody has time to go work in a million different kitchens.
Yeah.
So, like the best way is to collaborate with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and see what they do good, and like I hadn't really thought. I hadn't thought to put the cucumber with the sauce on the scallop tato or something. I don't know.
You know, I think one of my only experiences working in the kitchen was whenever, because being a waiter, if you walked in and out, but whenever I was working at this place called Barclays for a little while, cooking up crawfish.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I would be burned at coming home, man. I'm talking about crawfish boil in my forearms, in my pores, on my face, next to my temple, coming out smelling like fucking crawfish. And then they're like, now you have to clean it up. And I'm like, I gotta clean this shit up? What do you mean I gotta clean up the dish? Don't you hire someone for that, man? What are you talking about? Sure enough, man, then you pour out all the orange crap liquid. It's all over your shoes, all over your pants, covered in crawfish mixture. And I mean, hell, they paid me well for it, but I was just like, all right, man, this is fun, but give me something to sell, guys. What can I sell, man? Give me a product. And they're like, crawfish. I'm burning myself, guys. Are you gonna let me sling some drinks or what?
That's probably the funnest part about cooking is having to clean up after.
No, but it's something that has to get done if you want to cook.
For sure. Cleanliness is very important.
Yeah.
It is. Damn, well, that was a good episode,
Yeah,
man.
no, it absolutely was.
Cool.
Paul, thank you so much.
Cool, man.
Also,
100%.
If people want to kind of follow your journey and stuff, how can they find you?
Instagram, probably PQUI. Same thing on Twitter.
Same thing
Instagram.
on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah. And then what's the name of your hospitality group?
It's Fam Hospitality Group.
Fam Hospitality Group. So y'all got a website too and stuff?
FamHospitalityGroup.com.
You said
Cool.
What is it? PQ?
UI.
PQUI. Paul
Cool.
Key.
Yeah.
So Peaky.
Yep.
That could be the name of the next restaurant. Peaky.
You make any Peking duck?
No.
Oh, okay.
Specialize in Peking duck. Have a restaurant specifically for Peking.
We're copywriting this. If we want.
Yeah, we're gonna need to. 51%. All right, P.
51%
All right. Well, cool, dude. That was a great episode.
That was phenomenal, brother. That was great, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in. H-Town Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world.
Check it out next week. Thank y'all.